to joint relations. Okay?
Matong coverage, sir.
Yes, sa midterm exam.
Sir,
Yan.
sa good, sir. Wala na video, sir.
Let's start. Wala na.
Sir, ang ano, sir?
Okay, let's start. So, lecture tayo first. Ayan. So, this is my database. Ayan. I will use this database. Okay. Ayan. And these are the tables. Okay, as you can see. Ayan. And we have our students. Okay, this is our students. Enroll. Okay, so as you can see sa enroll table, students 1 and 2 and 3 are the only students who enrolled subjects. Si student 1 enrolled 2 subjects. Si 2 and 3, 1. 4 and 5 did not enroll any subjects. Diba? Okay. So we're going to use joint relations to join the two tables. Ayan. So mag-combine yan sila. So in this case, we're going to be using joint relations to combine them na nested select queries. So you can solve this using nested select queries as well, but we're not going to do that. That's prelim topic. So we're going to do joint relations. So this is joint relations. I'm going to join students. Okay. Inner join. Enroll. Ayan. On students that, what are the fields common or the primary key to foreign key? It's the stud ID, di ba? So you're going to use the primary key to foreign key sa on. So it's stud ID equals to enroll.stud ID. Ayan, there you go. So we join the two tables. This is the students table. Ito, students table. And we have the enroll table. Join them together by comparing the stud ID equal. Ayan, all the student IDs are equal. That's what this statement is for. Diba? We're comparing them if they are equal. So what about showing also the students without enrolled subjects? So we will use left outer join this time. Ayan. So you will now compare 101, check, 101, 102, 103, and other subjects, other students without enrolled subjects. That's the result of using left outer join. It will show null. So same with your exercise 6. First PDF file, show null for students without grades yet. Okay? So let us now add another join. So we're going to mag-nest ng join. Okay, so in this case, we're going to add a join inside a join. So what if I need to know the grades of each enrolled subject? Yan. So currently, I don't have grades yet. Wala pa akong grades table. I will create a grades table. Create table grades. Ayan. So we have GID. Okay. EID. Final grade. Ayan. This is my grades table. So insert into grades values. Grade ID, EID, final grade. Okay, ganyan. So these are all our EID. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I will assign grades to 3 of that. Ayan. So, GID EID. Okay? And then, GID na naman. Ayan. So, I will not give a grade sa EID 3. I only give a grade sa 1 and 2, 4. Okay? So, see, EID 3, walang grade. Again. So, using this query, the joint relation that we solved, okay? Ayan, I will copy this sa notepad. Ayan. I will add, okay, this is the joint relation. I will now enclose this inside the parenthesis, and then, okay, by looking at the query, ayan, okay, and then add select. So select asterisk from, this will be the relation. Okay, left outer join sa grades. Ayan, on what is in this relation that is needed sa grades table. Okay, what's the field needed? So in this case, that's EID. EID is the one that is needed sa grades table, di ba? So what are you going to do? Before you get the EID in this relation, you need to assign a name to this relation. So let's call this X. Okay. And then, we need to be specific. So X dot EID. Okay? So X dot EID must be equals to grades dot EID. Grades dot EID. Okay? So if I run this query, ayan. Okay, this is the output. Ayan. Okay. If I run this query now, okay, wait, let me copy again. Okay, ganyan. It will show that I have a duplicate column, stud ID. So, stud ID is present sa dalawang column, di ba? So, you need to remove or show just one. Okay. So, in this case, this relation will return to student ID. You must show just one. So, you need to be specific. So in this case, we're going to select only. Okay, we're going to select only students that stud ID, comma, because we need this one, stud name, students that stud name, comma. Okay, we need EID as well, which is found sa enroll. Enroll.EID. Okay, comma. And then lastly, subject ID, which is found sa enroll as well. So, pwede na diretso subject ID. Yan. Okay, let's try running the query. Let's see what happens. So, take note ha. May din ako naiibutang sa slide. Ayan. Okay, as you can see, we now have unique values. Before, we have two student ID. Okay. Ayan. So, next. Using this query, we're going to add this one. Okay. There you go. And this one. Okay, there you go. So, I will run this query again. Ayan. There you go. So, you can see that students 1, 001, 202, and 003 are all given a grade except for students enrolled to EID 3 and 4. Sorry, 3 lang pala. Si 4 merong grade. Di ba? Okay. Okay, klaro? Questions? O, walay pangutana ha. Basta sa exam, kabalo ha. Hindi dyan mabagsak. Okay, klaro ha. Okay. Ayan. So, let us add another join. Okay, kaya kung sa exam, hindi na mo ka-ask yung question. Karoon na mo ka-ask. Okay, so let's start. So, we have this. And we need the subject code. Ayan. This is the subjects table. Okay. We're going to need the subject code. Yan. Pag wala yung question, hindi nasabtan. Okay, proceed tayo. Okay, next. This is the current output. Ito. We're going to add the ID of the code of the subject. So if you don't want to see null values, you just remove. Okay. Okay, this is left outer join. So let us just add inner join. Okay, inner join. So if you don't want to see null values, wait. Okay, we just change this to inner join. Ayan. Okay? But we still have null values sa grade. Okay, di ba? The null value sa grade here is because of the left outer join. Okay, if you don't want to see the null values sa grade, you change this to inner join. Okay, inner join na yan siya now. So this will become okay, copy. Yan. Okay. So these are all the students with enrolled subject and grades. So yung walang grade, hindi kasali. Okay, hindi siya masali. Okay, klaro? Nasabtan ha? Okay, basta wala yung question, nasabtan. Okay, next. We are going to add the code, the subject code, this one. Okay, ito. So we need to know what subjects. Okay, so to do that, we need to remove first the two EIDs here. Okay, dalawa yung EID natin. Ayan. So meaning we don't want that. Okay, so that we don't have duplicates. So in this case, we're going to be using okay, the following tables only. So first is stud ID. Stud ID is coming from the students, which is under sa X na name, okay, or relation. So this will become X dot stud ID. Okay, next is stud name naman. X dot stud name. Ayan. Next is EID. EID is from enroll. So enroll is inside this query. So meaning it's under X as well. So this is X dot EID. Okay, and then we have subject ID. Okay, subject ID naman. So subject ID is coming from either grades, okay, or enroll. So let us still use X. Okay, subject ID. So subject ID, and then grade ID. Okay, grade ID is a grades. Okay, and then EID, doble ng EID, and then final. Yan. Okay, let's see what happens. This will remove the duplicate. Okay, so let's see. Ayan. So from this table or relation, we remove the duplicate EID. Okay, so wala na si EID. So now we're going to join the subjects table. Kasi wala pang subjects dito. We are currently joining students, enroll, and grades. So we're now going to join subjects. So parenthesis again. Okay? And then, select asterisk from this relation to this relation. So this will be inner join. Okay, inner join. Inner join subjects on subjects that subject ID is equals to the subject ID here. So the subject ID here is found sa variable. So this entire query, you need to assign this to a variable. So this is as, ano na, we have x, this is as y. Okay, y na yan. So this entire query, we're renaming this to y. So we are going to use y dot subject ID. Okay, let's see. So we have, oops. Okay, copy again. Copy. Yan. Okay. So we now have the code of the subject. Subject code, ID of the subject, grades of the student who enrolled the subject. So these are all inner join. You use inner join so that it will not show any null. Okay, walang null yan. Yan. So it's just purely inner join. So next is, I want to see the teacher. Teacher naman. Okay, currently I don't know who the teachers are. Yan. So we're going to use the assigned table first and then join it with the teacher table. Okay? So, ganyan. So let's see now. So first is, you need to remove redundancy. What are the values na redundant? Okay, so we have stud ID, isa lang. Subject ID, dalawa, di ba? You have two subject IDs. Okay, so you're going to remove the two subject IDs. Dapat isa lang. Okay, that's what is being compared, subject ID. Okay, so we're going to use, yan, remove them. Okay, remove natin. Ayan, remove. So this is using the variable y. Okay, gamit tayo ng variable y. So variable y, so this is now y dot stud name. Tapos y dot, okay, una stud ID. Y dot stud ID, y dot stud name, y dot enroll ID. Okay, coming from the enroll table. And then GID. GID is coming from Y as well. Okay, let me check just to be sure. So grades, oh no need. So grades is, yes, it's part of Y. So grades is part of Y. So we're going to add Y dot GID. So Y dot GID. Okay, and then final grade. Final grade is coming from grades. So y dot final. Okay, and then subject ID is duplicate. This is what we need to remove. And then subject code. Subject code is coming from subject. So you just type here subject code. Yan. Okay, if I run this, it will remove the duplicates. There you go. So currently we have this. We now have this. Stud ID, stud name, EID, GID. Final subject code. Okay? Yung subject ID. Okay, it's not needed anyway. Okay, no problem. Yan. Okay. So, we are going to need the what? Subject ID. Okay, kailangan si subject ID. So, you need to add subject ID talaga. So, subject code y.subject ID. Okay, kailangan. Hindi pwedeng walang subject ID. Okay, ayan. There you go. So, we now have unique columns. If columns are not unique, it will prompt for an error. Okay? Ayan. So, let us now proceed. We are now going to parenthesize this again. Okay? So, nagkakataas na siya. Ayan. And then, select asterisk from. Okay. And then, join this with assign. Okay, assign. So your assign table is ayan, assign. Okay. So the two subjects, 201 and 2 are assigned sa teacher 3001. We need to show the name of the teacher. But to show the name of the teacher, you need to use the assign table first because the assign table is the associative entity of teacher. Okay? So let's see. So, ayan. So assign. We're going to rename this entire relation to a variable as ano na ang kulang? We have X, we have Y, we have Z. Okay, Z na yan siya. Yan. Okay. So, we are now going to compare the subject ID sa assign with the subject ID sa join. Okay, so this is Z dot subject ID. Okay. Equals to assign that subject ID. Yan. Okay. So let us see the output now. Okay, wait. Sabi, error daw. Assign. Walang on. I forgot on. On. Okay, si on, hindi pwedeng nalimutan. Yan. Okay. So these are all students with enrolled subjects. Enrolled subjects with grade. Yung walang grade, hindi kasali because we use inner join. Kung gusto nyo isali yung walang grade, you use let outer join. And then, the code of the subjects with grades and the PID of the subjects with grades. So we are now going to use the TID to know what's the name of these teachers. Okay, so we have, yan. So currently, there are duplicates. Subject ID na naman. Okay, we need to remove the subject ID. Remove the duplicates again. Okay, so, next is, what do? We assign this. Okay, we need to assign fields. So this is assign. Ang wala sa assign is ito lahat except for TID and subject ID. So we need to write ano ba? Z. So Z dot stud ID, Z dot stud name, Z dot EID. So si EID, di na natin kailangan. Okay? Dagdag lang siya. Pagdagdag lang. And then GID is not needed as well. Okay? Ang kailangan lang natin is final grade. So Z dot final. Okay? Yung mga not needed di na natin isali. And then subject ID. Di na kailangan si subject ID. We only need teacher ID. Okay, sige, pwede na natin ilagay. Okay, lagay natin Z dot subject ID, Z dot subject code, and then TID. Importante. So TID is coming from assign. Okay, let's see. These are the values needed. Ayan. So we have the stud ID, stud name, final, hindi na kailangan si ID, not important. Subject ID, GID, not needed as well. Final grade. Subject ID, we need to know what's the ID of the subject. Subject code, TID. Okay, so ito lang yung importante. We're not showing information not needed. So we're now going to join again. Okay, klaro ha? So medyo challenging to sa exam. Okay, yes. So i-answer ninyo na tanan. Okay, next. We are now going to join. Dapat maminaw jud mo. Kung di maminaw, gamay lang mo score. Okay, next. We have select asterisk from this relation. And then, we are going to join this again. Inner join with teachers. Okay, teachers naman. Ayan. Teachers is, ito lahat. There you go. Dalawa lang yung teacher natin. So, si 3001, 3002, pangalan nila maglabas. It will appear here. Okay, so you have two teachers. Their corresponding names will be added in that column. Okay, let's see. Ayan. So, we have inner join teachers. Okay, on. Yan. So, this entire relation is one. We're going to join this with teachers. So, we're going to add a variable as, ano pang wala? X, Y, Z, W. Okay, wala pa si W. Ayan, urot na lang alphabet. Okay, we have W dot. Yan. What value or field is needed sa W? It's the teacher ID. Okay, di ba? So, TID. It must be equals to the teachers.TID. Okay? Ayan. So, klaro. There you go. So, execute. And then run. Ayan. Okay, so you can see now we have students with enrolled subject, students with grade, students with teachers. Okay, ganyan. So this is a total of how many tables ang i-join natin? So we're joining students, subjects, enroll, assign, grade, teachers. 6. Okay, i-join natin ang 6 na tables. Okay? Ayan. Questions? Wala yung pangutana ha, may nasabtan. Okay.
So, wala pang
Ayan. So, sa exam, you need to answer this in 15 minutes. Kasi you will be given 4 questions. Okay, ganyan. Okay? Pangitaan nyo nag-pattern. Ano siya yung pattern?
Ilan ka ba question?
Upat in 1 hour. Kaya na pa man may ano. Kani siya, duwa lang ni. Ang 2 questions, normalization. So, meaning ER diagram. Same sa quiz 1, di ba? Okay. So, ayan. So, pangitaan nyo yung pattern. You need to look for a pattern. How to do this. Di, lahi-lahi sa inyo ha. Na ay bangko, na ay ospital, na ay eskwelahan, kani eskwelahan man eh. Okay, na ay restaurant, na ay hotel. Okay? So, syempre, join the relation. Okay? Klaro ha? Yan. Sige, so total of 6 tables ang i-join diri ha. Okay, 6 ka table yan. Okay, taas-taas po. Okay? Ayan. Alright. So, Ayan, okay, so let's proceed sa, okay, wala na, checking of exercises. Ayan, ginahulat ninyo, checking. Okay, exercise 6, 100 pa up to wala na 100 ayan tod karon. Okay, kasi you are 1 week. 1 week lang man kayo. So, ang exercise 6 is 100 up to 2:30 today. Okay, 2 hours, inihapman mo every meeting. So, up to karon exercise 100. Wala kami Friday. And the next meeting, Monday, I will discuss exercise 7. Okay, exercise 7 na ha. So, kung wala pa sa 1, napa may wala, paningkamutan ninyo. Exer 1. Okay, wala pa may prelim grade. If you cannot finish Exer 1, up to the last meeting, wala na kayong exercises. That's the day of checking na yan sa finals. So, paningkamutang Exer 1. Okay, kaya na pa yung wala. Exer 1. Okay.
Sunod-sunod ako karon. Before na ka.
Sige, ano una?
Tusa lang.
Tusa. Sige, i-print pa tayo.
Nakulat magulan ni sir.
Wala, nagulat-ulat. Sige, Exer 2.
Ano sir?
Sige, Exer 2. Saan itong 2?
Kani sir,
Sige, add. Sige.
Sir, add.
Okay, add.
Tapos mag-add subject. Add na enroll. Yes.
Sige, pag-add sa subject.
Ay, mag-add ko subject. Add ko sir. Kaya mag-add.
Okay. Sige, enroll.
Yes.
Enroll. Sige. Umangipad. Sige, ka na.
Asa may
Umangipad subject. Ay, pareho naman sila.
Ay, lahi ano sir?
To. Pwede.
Okay.
Na-enroll na niya, hindi pwede enroll balik. So, duwa ka subject, pareho. Okay, wala pa. Hindi mo ka pwede sa 3, wala pa na ito. Okay, dire, wala na subject. Wala. Sige, balik lang po dire. Ha?
Google na.
Ha? Sir 3. Dito lang, paano mo diyan? Maano lang.
Ay, bye. Pwede ko mamaling bye.
Okay, diri sa ta, Sir 3 na. Ano kayo mga pwede i-prepare?
I-prepare na ako ulit ano so like.
Ulit tayo. Sige, drop ang database. Drop na lang. Sabta kay